Hey everybody, what is going on? My name is Nick and welcome back to the Nickadug Express, where I like to express my opinions on movies, TV shows, music, gaming, whatever really just fuels my energy levels. If you want to express your opinions, please put it down in the comments. This video took just slightly longer than I anticipated just because of the show itself in general, which I will just about get into. I've been making a few videos here and there for movie reviews, TV shows, just whatever new stuff's been coming out, because obviously with the environment and everything going on in the world, it's just really hard to review new and upcoming things, because there really isn't that much to, talk about that's new. So trying to come up with ideas for other videos, but besides that, let's just get into Space Force. So Space Force is a television series on Netflix, 10 episodes, starring Steve Carell, created by Steve Carell and Greg Daniels, who, if you don't know who Greg Daniels is, he did The Office US version, helped adapt it from the UK to the US version. So if you follow Greg Daniels' discography, he's done a lot of, decent work. The Office. He's done Upload, which is a new Amazon show, which I haven't watched yet. Heard it's pretty good. And I think he helped do some Parks and Rec, I would think. That one is the one I'm a little bit unsure about. But, he's done a lot of good up-and-coming comedy, and The Office is one of the most beloved shows. So I remember seeing the trailer for Space Force, and I was really, I was pulled in because of Greg Daniels. Even before I saw the trailer, I was like, I really want to see what this world has to offer. And I initially thought it was going to be set in space, but then here comes the trailer, not really about that. So basically, my pros with this movie are the cast is mostly good. Like they casted really great people. You got Lisa Kudrow, you got John Malkovich, you got Steve Carell, obviously, and you have Fred Willard, rest in peace, he just passed away. He plays the father in the show. And you have this top tier talent like Ben Schwartz. I mean, you're also bringing these smaller people from like side roles to more prominent roles, and I mean, it does show in like what they're trying to do, especially with the property and the name of Space Force, and creator Greg Daniels for using these people in other projects, bringing them together for this specific project. And the cast is great. I think they have a really good budget for this show. I mean, the CGI is pretty remarkable. I mean, it's a Netflix property, so I mean, it could be some of Netflix's budgeting, or it could just be the creators. I don't know, but I mean, you can tell that the effects are there, CGI is there, the aesthetic, just the way it's shot, like everything with camera, editing, CGI, and the way they casted, that's all really good. The meh parts for me are just the fact that I love Steve Carell. I think he's great, but he's not horrible. That's why he's not in my cons. But I think Steve Carell, I just don't buy him as this character. Like he plays the main character, this father, this well, I want to say military, but he plays this high ranking person in the NASA area, and making him the main leader of this Space Force group. And so just actors, they have a lot to give, and especially from the creators and the writers, they give you notes how they want you to respond. So I can't always blame him, but I'm sure they're like, Steve Carell, just give it your best. I mean, we're not going to tell you how to do that much. And I mean, I don't dislike him that much where it just totally bothers me, but sometimes when he talks, I just don't buy his sense of like command. Yeah, sense of command. I just don't buy it. Like, I don't know. It doesn't set right with me, like the way he's presenting himself, because I've seen him, and maybe it's just because I've seen him in so much comedy and so much like weird stuff that just seeing him as like some kind of commanding general just doesn't make sense in my brain or something. I don't know. It seems kind of unnatural for me to see Steve Carell like that. But I mean, I try to go in the show unbiased, but sometimes just that aspect of the show doesn't work for me. And then again, the comedy is still part of the meh parts for me. The comedy just doesn't land really that much. Like, there's like chuckles here and there, and there's like interesting concepts. Like, just, I don't know, the whole second episode was not the whole second episode, but there's a big part of the second episode, and I don't want to go into spoilers here, but there's just a whole monkey or ape or whatever you want to call scene in the second episode, and it just felt so dragged on and like focused on that sole moment. I don't know if they were just trying to make that a comedic moment or actually try and like push that forward somehow. It wasn't that funny to me. Like, I don't know, I at most I'll get a couple chuckles, and it's like, not that I expect all these shows to make me gut laugh every second, but the drama was there. I feel like the show is focusing more on the drama, but when it's trying to be a comedy, it also is not working, and I don't think they've exactly found the right either tone, or they haven't found the exact way they want to mishmash those two genres together, because I've really only laughed a few times, and it's not like a lot. And for what they're presenting the show to be, a comedy drama, it's more focused on the drama in my opinion. So with that being said, let's go on to my cons. And besides just the comedy and the maybe slight miscast of Steve Carell, if you like him, that's fine. My cons for this show are just that it doesn't feel at all that special and unique to me. Like, the concept is there, it's cool, it's interesting if you did something, you know, interesting with it, but the entire season feels kind of like a setup. And I know that Greg Daniels is known for starting one season and then revamping the second. Now, I don't want to say that, oh, if they get a second season, that's gonna make it, you know, that's gonna fix all the problems, because I don't know if that show, or I don't know if this show can just change in the second season that much. It really depends. I mean, if you write well enough, maybe you can. I would have to see with the second season, but I gotta tell you, it was kind of a drag for me to watch this show. That's one of my biggest issues. I wanted to binge watch it, but I felt so drained watching each episode, because I just was not interested, or at least as interested as I should be, in a show with the name Space Force, Steve Carell, created by Greg Daniels, and you have all the elements that are there. The only thing missing is the writing and just your tone. And I wish I liked this show, because this is one of those shows I want to be like, oh, such a great first season, I hope they make it into the second season and all these things. It's like, if they get a second season, then I mean, hey, there's a paycheck for them. But I just don't. I'll watch the second season, but after that, I really just don't think I'm going to care unless they really just revamp the show. And I'm not going to, again, get into spoilers, but you know what happens at the end of the season. I mean, you can take it or leave it. I mean, it's like, you can either keep it at the one season, or, you know, of course there'll probably be a second season. It's just, the show just doesn't do it for me. I really just felt like I was doing like work, or just like, it's like, I like to watch things to enjoy them. If I'm watching something that's just not interesting to me, you know, it's not gonna be something fun to watch. So at the end of the day, watching Space Force did not exactly give me that much to look forward to, especially in a second season. If you liked it, I mean, hey, it's got an audience probably. Me, I saw elements that are there. I saw what they were trying to do. I just don't think they hit the mark. And if they do get a second season and they do change it around, maybe my opinion will change. The only last thing I can say about it is if they do get that second season is that maybe play off the fact of what happened in that entire first season, because you had 10 episodes. Don't know if, I mean, maybe it could have been shorter. That there's just a lot of things you could play around with of like why it feels dragged out, especially in a 30-minute format like that. But maybe play on in the second season, the first season, just all those 10 episodes, the storylines you were given, and then in the second season maybe just fast pace it, like make, like, I feel like a show like Space Force, because it's got the word space, they got to go into space more often, I think, and what they're going for, they do have interesting concepts. So if they revamp it in the second season, take everything you did from the first season, obviously write the storylines more intriguing, and then immediately change the, not the tone, keep it at drama comedy, but also the speed. So if you start that second season, the first episode, make the stakes higher, make things more prevalent, like just make, like, there's a situation that's emergent and that you have to get to right away. I don't know, I feel like something with NASA and Space Force, and you having to deal with things and consequences more on a grander scale, and I feel like they do have things they can work with. So the first season, just above average, slightly more than mediocre. I would give this a solid 6.5, which is not exactly that great, but I am being generous to an extent because I would like to see where they go with it if they do get that second season. But again, guys, it took me just slightly longer to make this video because I was not entirely enjoying myself. But again, that's what happens with watching shows sometimes. You don't always get what you want. But again, thank you all for watching. I have other videos on my channel. Feel free to check out all the range. I make playlists so you can look at the different types of videos I make, and trying to make more. Got more ideas on the way, more content, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace, guys.